morning, class.
Good morning, Miss Rabbit.
Today, we are going to learn about staying safe during an emergency. Yes, Alice?
Miss Rabbit, what's an emergency?
Great question, Alice, and a great place to start. So let's hop to it. An emergency is an unexpected and sometimes dangerous situation that we must react to immediately. Because they're unexpected, it's best we have a plan before they happen.
What is the plan?
Don't forget to raise your hand, Timmy. And actually, we have fur plans. I mean 4. Okay, our 4 plans are lock out, lock down, evacuate, and shelter. Yes, Alice.
What do those plans mean?
Great question. For the next few lessons, we will learn about each one. For now, just remember their names and say them with me.
Lock out, lock down, evacuate, and shelter.
That's all for now. Be good, bunnies. If there's a dangerous situation outside the school, we must all go inside to keep ourselves safe. To practice this, let's play a game called Secure the Perimeter.
Yeah!
Yes, Alice, do you have a question?
How do we play Secure the Perimeter?
First, let's go outside. Follow me. Okay, I need all of you to stand in a circle on the chalk line with your hands by your side. Thank you. Today, we are learning about our first emergency plan, Lockout. Now, Alice, Timmy, come outside the circle. Perfect. Outside of the circle can walk around, but when I call, Lockout, secure the perimeter, you must quickly go inside the circle, and all the students in the circle will hold hands once you're inside. Lock out! Secure the perimeter! Excellent work, class!
Yeah!
Remember, when there is a dangerous situation outside the school, we must all go inside to keep ourselves safe, just like our friends Alice and Timmy did. Okay, last class, when we were out on the playground, we learned what to do when there is danger outside. Does anyone remember what to do? Yes, Alice.
We get inside the building and we lock out the danger.
That's right. We lock out, secure the perimeter. Well, that's what we do when we are outside. What about when we're inside and there is also danger inside the building? Then what do we do? If we're inside, you'll hear lock down, locks, lights, out of sight. Lock down, locks, lights, out of sight. On 3, can you repeat the 3 things we do when we hear lock down, locks, lights, out of sight? 1, 2, 3.
Locks, lights, out of sight.
That's right. Locks, lights, out of sight.
Miss Rabbit, I know what locks are and know what lights are, but what is out of sight?
Great question, Timmy. Out of sight means going somewhere in the classroom where no one can see you. Can anyone think of a good place to stay out of sight? Yes, Alice.
I think it would be good to stay away from the windows.
Excellent, Alice. Anyone else?
Oh, we should stay away from the door, too.
You bet. You are exactly right. It is a good idea to stay away from the door. For anyone watching this video who's not in our classroom, ask your teacher to go around the room and decide if each place is a good hiding place. That's all we have time for now. Later, we'll talk about staying quiet and protected when we hear lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight.
What snack do you have in your lunch today?
Okay, students, it's time for
I have
class.
a banana. You want to trade? That sounds great.
Excuse me. We will be talking about staying quiet. When we hear lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight, we need to stay quiet in our hiding place. Look at this picture of a quiet mouth. What do you think it means to have a quiet mouth? Yes, Alice.
It means you don't talk?
Very good. It even means you don't whisper. It means not a peep. Remember that this is important because during an emergency, we can get confused. Safe people will be sharing important instructions that you'll need to hear the first time they tell you. Remember, if you're talking, you're not listening. We'll practice being quiet by playing a little game I like to call Quiet Mouth.
Yeah!
To play the game, I will set a timer. Once I start the time, you will keep a quiet mouth until the timer goes off.
What if I don't keep a quiet mouth until the timer goes off?
Don't forget to raise your hand when you have a question, Timmy. To answer your question, it is more important to know what you get for keeping your mouth quiet.
Ooh, what is it?
In my classroom, you get an excellent treat, a carrot.
Yeah.
Now we are ready to get started. I want all of you to play, even those of you watching from your own classroom. I'll set the timer, and when I press start, you keep a quiet mouth until the timer goes off. Ready, set, go! Great job, students!
Yeah!
That's all for now. You can collect your carrots on the way out. I'll see your happy faces after lunch. Now we are going to learn how to protect ourselves while we are hiding out of sight. I'll start by showing you this picture of my brother, Mr. Rabbit.
He's sitting funny.
It's funny you should say that, Timmy. Us rabbits sit like that. Sometimes it's called rabbit yoga pose. It's a great way to sit after we are out of sight.
I'm not a rabbit. I can't sit like that.
Let me show you a couple of pictures of kids just like you sitting in rabbit yoga pose. See, it isn't hard at all. Maybe you're bunnies after all. Yes, Alice.
I'm not sure I can do it.
Of course you can. Let's practice. All of you watching this video of our class can also practice. Just make sure you listen to your teacher. When you're ready, we will all get out of our chairs and practice getting into rabbit yoga pose. Don't forget to lift your head up to look around the room too. Remember to be very quiet. You're a tiny little rabbit and you want to stay warm and hidden in your rabbit hole. So, when you're ready, we will all get out of our chairs and practice getting into rabbit yoga pose. Okay, I'd like to review what we've learned the past 3 days. Does everyone remember?
Yes.
Lock down, locks, lights, out of sight. Alice, can you tell us after the door is locked, the lights are off, and we are out of sight, what else we need to do?
I think so. We need to keep a quiet mouth and get into rabbit yoga pose to be extra safe.
That is exactly right. When we are out of sight, it helps to keep quiet and protected. So, don't forget where the good hiding places are and be ready to keep quiet and protected in your rabbit hole. Hello, students! Sometimes, in an emergency, we will need to evacuate from our current location. Yes, Alice?
What does evacuate mean?
Great question! Evacuate means we need to leave a dangerous place and go to a safe place. Today, we are going to discuss the ways we can evacuate from the area. Take a look around the classroom. Do you see any ways we could get out?
I think we could get out through the door.
Don't forget to raise your hand, Timmy. Very good. Yes, we can evacuate through the door. Now is a good time to pause this video and have a discussion of your own about all the ways to evacuate your current location. Have a discussion about the next steps too. For example, if you are going to climb out the window, how will you get out of the window? What might be needed if the window is not so close to the ground? When you are ready to resume this video, just click play. Welcome back! I hope you had a wonderful discussion. Now that we are all back together again, I'd like to start an activity. Using paper and drawing tools, draw a picture of how you could evacuate from where you are. If you think you can, try to draw a map. When you're done, maybe you can share your drawing with your neighbor or with the whole class. Yes, Alice.
I'm tired. Can we listen to some music?
Let me think about that, because we still have to learn about evacuating. I've got it! When we are evacuating, it is important to hold hands with our classmates. I'll show you the proper way to hold hands during an evacuation. Since you're tired, Alice, how about you and Timmy come up and demonstrate? Okay, I'll participate too. When we are evacuating, it is important to hold the hand of the person in front of us and the person behind us. We'll practice walking around the classroom with some music playing. Okay, students, today we're having class in the gym. How exciting!
Are we going to play basketball?
No, Alice. We're still learning about evacuating, but we will play a game at the end of our discussion. First, I'd like to ask you about evacuating. When we are evacuating a dangerous place to go to a safe place, do you think we are quiet or loud?
Quiet!
Very good. But let's try and say it quietly. Quiet. Wonderful. What about our belongings? What do we do with them when we evacuate?
I think I'd like to get my backpack.
I understand, Timmy. But actually, when we are evacuating, we leave all of our things behind and get to safety as soon as we can.
I think we should also listen to you, Miss Rabbit, to stay safe.
Well, thank you, Alice. That is a great idea. When there is an emergency, it is always a good idea to listen to your teacher or another safe person. We'll talk about who safe people are in another lesson.
Oh, we should also hold hands with the person in front of us and behind us.
Don't forget to raise your hand, Timmy. But excellent point. Now is a good time to pause this video and have a classroom discussion of your own about all the ways to stay safe and quiet during an evacuation. When you are ready to resume this video, just click play. Welcome back. We are playing a game here in the gym. We think you should try it too. Alice, can you tell them how to play the game?
Okay. So, the teacher stands in the middle of the gym with her eyes closed, and we try to go from one side of the gym to the other without her hearing us.
Morning, class. It's time for our last discussion about evacuation. When we evacuate from a dangerous place to a safe place, first we need to know where the safe place is.
But Miss Rabbit, how will we know where to go?
Great question, Alice. If we ever need to evacuate, you'll be told where to go. For example, evacuate to the gym. Would you like to practice with me?
Yay!
Before we practice, let's review. When we evacuate, what do we do? Yes, Alice.
Oh, I know. We hold hands and we walk quickly and quietly to the safe place.
That's right. What else?
We line up.
That's right. We line up, hold hands, and walk quietly to the safe place. Are you ready? Okay. Evacuate to the gym! Evacuate to the gym! Now that we are here, please form a line. Is Alice present?
Present.
Is Timmy present?
Present.
And is Charlie present?
Present.
Wonderful! We are all here and safe.
Yes!
Let's try one more time. Evacuate to the playground! Evacuate to the playground! Now that we're here, please form a line. Is Alice present?
Present.
Is Timmy present?
Present.
And is Charlie present?
Present.
Good morning, class. Please take a seat. Today, we will be learning about taking shelter. Sometimes, it may be important to take shelter for personal or even for the whole class's safety. A lot of the things we will do when taking shelter will be a review of things we already know. One of the first things about taking shelter is staying quiet.
Oh no, is this gonna be like the last time we talked about staying quiet?
Well, hopefully I don't have to yell about being quiet this time. So, please pay attention. When we are told to shelter, we need to stay quiet. Look at this picture of quiet mouth. Do you remember what it means to have a quiet mouth? Yes, Alice.
It means you don't talk or even whisper. Not a peep.
That's right. Let's practice being quiet by playing Quiet Mouth.
Yay!
Remember that this is important because during an emergency, we can get confused. Safe people will be sharing important instructions that you will need to hear the first time they tell you. Remember, if you're talking, you're not listening. So, let's play Quiet Mouth. Okay, I will set the timer. Once I start the time, you will keep a quiet mouth until the timer goes off.
Fries a carrot again?
No.
Yay!
This time, it's lettuce. Don't forget, maybe your teacher has a different prize, but I love lettuce almost as much as I love carrots. Okay, now we are ready to get started. I want all of you to play, even those of you watching from your own classroom. I'll set the timer, and when I press start, you keep a quiet mouth until the timer goes off. Ready, set, go! Great job, students!
Yes!
That's all for class today. You can collect your lettuce on the way out. I'll see you after PE. Just like being quiet was a review, now we are going to review how to protect ourselves while we are hiding. I'll start by showing you this picture of my brother, Mr. Rabbit, again.
I remember that.
Here are a couple of pictures of kids just like you, sitting in rabbit yoga pose. Remember, it isn't hard at all. I'm pretty sure you're bunnies. Yes, Alice.
Can we practice again?
Of course we can. Let's practice. All of you watching this video of our class can also practice. Just make sure you listen to your teacher. So, when you are ready, we will all get out of our chairs and practice getting into rabbit yoga pose. Don't forget to lift your head up to look around the room, too. Remember to be very quiet. You are a tiny rabbit, and you want to stay warm and hidden in your rabbit hole. I hope you had a good lunch.
I'm full.
I'd like to review what we have learned about shelter. Does anyone remember how we shelter? Yes, Alice. Can you tell us what we do when we shelter?
I think so. We need to keep a quiet mouth and get into rabbit yoga pose to protect us.
That is exactly right.
Can we try it?
Here's what I'll do. I'll take this black circle and I'll put it somewhere in the room. Let's call it your rabbit hole. I'll start the time and you'll go to your rabbit hole, get into rabbit yoga pose, and keep a quiet mouth until the timer goes off. Ready, set, go! Great job, Timmy. You make a great rabbit. You can try practicing like this in your classroom too. Good afternoon, students.
afternoon.
Remember the game Timmy played, where he went to the rabbit hole, got in rabbit yoga pose, and kept a quiet mouth?
Yes!
We're going to play that game around the school. Sometimes when we're told to shelter, We'll also be told where to go. So let's try it out. Shelter in the hallway! Shelter in the hallway! Excellent work, students. Let's try one more time. Shelter in the gym! Shelter in the gym! Excellent! Hello, students!
Hello, Rabbit.
I want to review all of the things we've learned over the past couple of days. Can anyone tell me our 4 emergency plans? Yes, Alice. I'm so excited to hear.
Lockout, lockdown, evacuate, and shelter.
Excellent! Can you tell me more about when we say, Lockout, secure the perimeter?
Means if we're outside, we go inside and then lock the doors, right?
Exactly right. What about lockdown? Can someone tell me more about our lockdown plans? Timmy, you raised your hand. You've really been learning. Please tell me about our lockdown plans.
Lockdown. Locked, lights, out of sight.
And what does that mean?
It means we lock the doors, turn off the lights, go to a safe place, get into rabbit yoga pose, and keep a quiet mouth.
Exactly. So smart. I haven't heard much from you, Charlie. Could you tell me more about our evacuate plans?
Yes, ma'am. When we are told to evacuate, we will be told where to go. We will line up, hold hands, and move quickly and quietly to the place we're told to go.
Wonderful, Charlie. What about shelter? What do we do then?
Well, Miss Rabbit, it is quite similar to other emergency plans. We will be told to shelter and where to shelter. We will go to the shelter location, enter rabbit yoga pose, and keep a quiet mouth.
I am so proud of all my students. Now, there is one last thing I would like to talk to you about.
What is it?
Oh, you are doing so well raising your hand, Timmy. What we are going to talk about is who safe people are. When there is an emergency, safe people will come to help us. It is important for us to know who safe people are. Can you help me name some safe people? No need to raise your hands this time. Yes, Timmy.
Police, officers, and firefighters.
Great. Who else?
Doctors and nurses?
Yes, of course. What about teachers and the principal?
Oh, yes, they are safe people.
There are even safe people at home.
Oh, like my parents and our neighbors that we know.
Exactly, Alice. To finish our lessons, I would like each of you to draw a picture of a person who can keep you safe at school or at home. Let's take a look at each other's pictures. Who is this safe person?
Oh, it's a policeman.
Who is this safe person?
It is a person from an ambulance?
That's right, Alice. They provide emergency medical services. So sometimes we call them EMS. Who is this safe person?
Is it another policeman?
Sort of. He's a special policeman who has been especially trained to help in emergencies. We call them the SWAT team.
That's cool.
That's right, Timmy. Safe people are cool. Thank you all very much for your attention in these lessons. Remember, emergencies are unexpected, so planning beforehand is an excellent way to stay safe. So, don't forget the plans. Lock out, lock down, evacuate, and shelter.